Yo, what up guys, Brief5D here. This is day 151 of the Noob to Pro update, a series we started to get through Ultra Nightmare Clan boss with a totally killable team. Right now we are stalling, we are building champions, we are farming new gear, we're just chilling right now until we can get better champions that can push us all the way from Nightmare where we currently are to Ultra Nightmare. So I just thought I would just go back a little bit in terms of the content we are giving out to newer players who are coming into Raid, learning from this account, and give you some tips about, currently this one is all about energy, where to spend energy in Raid Shadow Legends. So this is day 151. Like I said, we're closer to that Seal the Drake, 30 days to go, but this is not gonna be a detailed update for the Noob to Pro. I just wanted to focus on energy today because I've logged in, did my dailies and all that, and I finally gathered up to 500 energy or close to that. So that's about the amount of energy or more than that you get per day, including other content that you might be beating in terms of tournaments and events that you can get energy from Raid Shadow Legends. That's an entirely different video, how to get energy in Raid Shadow Legends. That's another video altogether for another day. But today we wanted to focus on how to spend this energy that we obtain daily in the game. The first tip that I give to newer players who are coming in is to never let it accumulate up to this level. You know you have a maximum of 30 or less, right? So you don't ever want to be sitting on your maximum, because when that happens, your energy does not regenerate. Right now I'm not regenerating energy. You see, I'm full. So when you're not at maxed, you will see it regenerating. You probably know this by playing it in the first week, but in case you're wondering, always make sure that you spend your energy and let it regenerate. So just for the purpose of this video, I collected all my energy and I wanted to stack up and see how much we'll get. So that's how I was able to get to this amount. So I've collected all the ones from daily quests. Again, we're not talking about how to obtain energy. I've not collected this one yet, so this one will push me above 500 when I finish with the advanced quest. I've collected the one from oops, I didn't mean to click buy anything. Come on, I don't want to buy anything, my bad. You see, the advert just gets you. All right, for newer players who are coming into Raid and asking the question, where should you be spending on energy? This answer is pretty straightforward. It's no doubt about it. The best place is campaign, because you'll be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, even up to 5 champions to level 60 before you can even begin to beat lots of content in the game. Now the first starter is of course your first champions to 60, so you can begin to do the campaign farming for you, that is Kale, and then the other champions can follow that you use in the dungeons and other places. That's an easy answer to give for newer players. But if you now have champions to 60, you're like, what next? The next place for you to spend energy as a newer player in Raid is for you to head over to the Mino and farm those scrolls. Of course, your first, second or third champions, you might buy those scrolls with gems, but this is the best second place for you to spend energy as a newer player in Raid, to get your first to 5th champion with full masteries if they need it. There are obviously some champions who don't need masteries, right? But if you're going to be doing damage in the dungeons and in the clan boss, those champions, poisoners and all that, will need masteries to survive and do much damage. So that's the second most important place for you to spend your energy on when you're coming into Raid. Now when I say spend, I mean when you get this energy, like where am I going to spend it? That's where you go. If you have champions already at 60, you head to the Mino. Now after you have the champions fully mastered, like if I head over to my champion index right now, or my champion selection, you can see that we have masteries on all our champions. Well, almost all. See Maranix, Abita, Deliana, what's his name now, Royal Guard, Terrell. See, I've done that second step of spending all my energy in the right place by getting masteries. Even UDK has masteries that doesn't even need it. Of course, my clan boss champions, of course, Kale has masteries. Even my cold hearts, that's done. So I have no priority to say I want to farm masteries every day right now. That's not my priority anymore. Campaign is also not my priority anymore, because I have all my champions at level 60. So what should be my next focus? My next focus in Raid right now is to get better gear for my champions, because at the early stages where I farmed this Dragon 16, Dragon 13, you're using those trash gear. So you are starting to farm up to level 20. Now you have a lot of level 20 gear. You farmed a lot of these ones and you are sitting at 5-star gear, 5-star gear. The next piece of content for you to farm is the higher levels of the dungeons to give you better gear, and that's what I've been spending my energy on. That's the next thing. So the first one, campaign, the second one, Mino, the third one, of course, dungeon farming for better gear. First 5-star gear was okay for me, but right now we are getting to the level where we're trying to beat Ultra Nightmare teams, right? I mean, Ultra Nightmare clan boss, so we need a little bit of 6-star gear mixed with the 5-star gear, not coming in there with all 5-star gear. So this is where I'm spending my energy currently on. Before I go to bed, I just put it at 20 and let my team go to town, no matter how long it will take them, and they get it done, and I wake up with 0 energy. So this is where I begin to spend. Now, if I've been farming this dungeon a while, I feel like I'm beginning to get good gear right now. My team is doing so well, and I'm even being overburdened with space to store gear. I'm getting to the point where I have no space anymore to store gear. That means I have a good point. I have a good spot right now. I'm no longer keeping a lot of 5-star gear. If I heard over right, you see me now chilling with a little bit more 6-star gear. That means I'm getting to a comfortable level where dragon farming is no longer a higher priority. Yes, it gets to that point. You can see 6-star, 6-star, 6-star. Everything on Maranix is 6-star gear. I don't know about Abita. Well, most of our gear is 6-star gear. What about Deliana? 6-star gear. Mostly 5-star, a little bit of 6-star. Mostly 5-star. This has not been changed from the earlier build. So I'm saying a lot of these champions now are beginning to rock 6-star gear. That means I've done my time in Dragon 25 or 24, whichever one you're comfortable farming, right? That means Dragon is no longer a high priority right now. Yes, I've said that one already. So where else should the noob to pro be spending gear on? I mean, spending energy on? If you've gotten to this mid-game level where you're kind of comfortable with all the dungeon 20s, you're kind of good at dungeon closer to 25 in most of the content. You have your habitat, so you're heading towards end game content. 6-star gear is kind of where you are. So where should you be spending energy on next? The answer to that question is going to be a little bit complicated because it's based on the content you're pushing. This series is based on pushing Ultra Nightmare, so I should be spending my energy on champions that will get me to that Ultra Nightmare status that I'm trying to beat in the clan boss. Now, if you're somebody who is head over heels with arena, you're crazy about the arena, guess where you should be spending more of your energy? Still the dragon, because speed gear is still king at that level of the arena, unfortunately. But if you have big nukas, you are like, okay, Fire Knight is where you should be farming 20s. Yeah, some people start farming at 20. Fire Knight 20 or Fire Knight 24, whichever one you can beat. I don't think we can even beat 24 yet on this series, but we can begin to do that if we're crazy about arena, because guess what you get from the Fire Knight? Savage set gear. So yes, now you shift your attention from dragon. If you don't care about speed, you get to the Fire Knight to get more damage so you can get savage set. Right now on this account, I have 0 savage sets. If I head over right there, you can see that arena is not my focus, so I don't think it's necessary for me to head over to the Fire Knight and start farming it like crazy to get savage sets. So that's not a content I've focused on, and that's why we have no good savage set on the account. Let me scroll and see what the Noto Pro is chilling with in terms of savage. Oh, we do have some, because we have farmed some savage, but I'm telling you, these sets are not enough to even give me the required crit rate or the required crit damage on a champion to do anything reasonable. So not even crit rate, 3 damage glove, because that's what I need. All my gloves, none of them is crit damage. So I don't have a good savage set for real. The boots is not even 5-star, a 4-star boots. So I'm right, no good savage sets, enough to put on one champion who is a damage dealer. So I'm still rocking offset pieces. So again, if your focus is arena, 3v3 arena or 1v1 arena, get to savage, get back to the dragon, get more speed, get more damage. Those are the 2 things you need right there. And then if your focus is now arena, yes, lifesteal is still the best at this level, except you're using leech. You still need some other sets that will, help you with the leech in terms of stalwart. So dragon is your best bet. So it seems like I'm still saying the dungeon is still where you should be spending your energy, right? But right now, where I'm spending energy on this account, if I head over to my dungeons, you see me spending energy on this current champion, because the killable thing we still need to build for Ultra Nightmare, and the latest champion we wanted to try out is Skatix, and that champion is currently getting masteries right now. So that's where I'm spending all this energy. This 493 energy will go into getting Skatix, because any champion I want to put into the clan boss, I want that champion to be ready with masteries with their A1 that they will be hitting at least to add some damage, because every little bit of damage helps to get us to that ultra nightmare damage limits that we need. It's not like these earlier stages of clan boss where we're coming with champions with no masteries and we're okay just trying to survive. So that's where I'm getting this champion ready for, and also the champion is not yet booked. That's why I'm not rushing you to show you that content. So that's where the Noob to Pro is currently spending energy. You see how I break down the progression of energy spent from when we started doing the arena. I mean, when we started doing the campaign to when we started doing the Minotaur, when we started farming Dragon at 20, when we started farming Dragon at 25. Now we are like, what else? Now it's more flexible. If I decide to farm a little bit of this, what do you call it? Mino, I might decide to switch out and go do some campaign, although I have no other champions to take to 60 right now who are priority, so there's no reason for me to go do campaign. I even have 5-star food waiting for the next champion. I even have 5-star food ready and waiting for the next champion to go. So in terms of chickens, I think, and that would be Drexter or Seal the Drake. Those are the 2 champions I'm waiting to take to 60. So campaign is no longer a priority for the Noob to Pro, and it's easier for us to get more champions to 60 right now. So that's where I'm spending energy on right now. I hope this guide where I broke it down can help you, consider where you should be spending energy right now in Raid Shadow Legends. We are still not spending any energy in this level of this dungeon, the Iron Twins Fortress, except on Sunday. That's only when it is worth it. So if you're wondering if this is totally worth it, for a newer player like this, you have better things to focus on. The Iron Twins is only necessary on Sunday when you think you can beat it on some levels. Although this beginner time, the first time you beat it, it does have some awesome rewards for you, but I choose to farm it only on Sunday when it's void, I think, and then it gives us double rewards on Sunday. Other than that, I don't even spend energy in the magic or force keep anymore, spirit keep, because of the amount of resources we are getting currently from the clan boss Nightmare. Is able to give us some of these potions, so we don't have to go in here and farm it ourselves. The only one you most likely to farm is this arcane one, the bigger ones of course, and that's the one you might want to farm sometimes when you're very, very low. So besides that, that's where we're currently spending energy on right now. So hopefully this one serves as a guide for most newer players who are coming into Raid and figuring out where to spend your energy. It's always confusing. Missions will require you to spend energy, a quest will require you to spend energy somewhere else. But if you have your target where you're locked into, for us on the Noob to Pro series is Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, and that's why we're putting everything into Mino and get our champions ready, putting everything into the dungeons and get our champions ready for that. So if you are somehow okay with the amount of gear you have, I don't know who will be okay with the amount of gear they have in terms of the quality of the gear now, and you decide not to farm dungeons anymore. I don't think that's a right way to follow it. Dungeons will always be useful. It will just make you be more picky with the amount of gear you keep and begin to sell trash gear and keep better gear that you farm up. All right, that's the short one. I wanted to just mix this Noob to Pro update with a little bit of information for newer players who are still on this level of the Noob to Pro series with me, and they're kind of stuck where to spend energy on right now. Hopefully this one lets you know to head back into the Dragon or head back into the Fire Knight if you're trying to push to higher levels of the arena. Right now I'm cool at gold 5, so I don't think I need better savage sets. The only time we see us in the arena or Ice Golem is when a tournament requires us to do so. So speaking of tournaments, when should you be pushing for it? Right now a Ice Golem tournament is going on and we are totally ignoring as if we are not seeing it. Not because the epic book that it has right now we don't need it, we do. It's just that particular dungeon is not going to help our champions. It will give me one epic skill tome, yes, but the amount of energy I will spend to get that epic skill tome is not worth me pushing for this Ice Golem tournament right now. So that's also another tip. It's not every tournament you see here that you rush and go spend your energy on it. No, because after you spend that energy, it's not giving you the equivalent value you have. Not just in terms of energy, in terms of the resources it will give us back. I'm talking about the gear we'll get from the Ice Golem is kind of weak. Yes, the Ice Golem is one of the weakest places where you can get gear from in Raid Shadow Legends. So we are not even going to spend any resource here. I need that epic skill tome, but the amount of energy I'll spend to obtain it is not worth it for this level of account. So even on my main account, I'm not pushing for it because I would love that 50 gems, but I'm not also going for it. If you see that nobody, of course, is going for it in your bracket, you might want to score a few points and just to get this ancient shard, which is always useful. All right, that's all I have for you in this Noob to Pro update. I wanted to make it a short one and useful as always for newer players coming into Raid. And I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new champion guide. Hit that like button if this one helps you, and tell me where you are spending energy on right now and why. Later, guys.